Hi, my name is Nguyen. I'll be talking about the functionality prototype of the CSE 360 project. So let me share my screen. All right. All right. So let's start with explaining the risk and how this prototype helps provide the data planning poker, like data, helps provide the data that playing poker needs. So um, basically, what the issue here is, I have it down here. Okay. Basically, the functionality of a program is something that like stakeholders, sometimes they don't know what exactly the product's going to be. So if we were to make a design or an application that a user doesn't understand or is a lot different than what it is before for Everlogger, then they'll be more likely to put less trust in our new applications. It might even affect worker mentality. It can discourage people from using the new application and just use the old one. So we want to make sure that our functionalities and our designs are consistent with what stakeholders want. And they also need to work. Like, we need to make sure that the basic functionalities of our program run as expected and run the way they should. So with functional prototypes, we can basically segregate each aspect of the program down to each individual functional parts, and then we can test that. So we can test many different kinds of functional prototypes and test it from the way up in order to build upon the product. So that's the risk and how this can help provide the data planning poker needs. Well, the thing that I'm going to show is related to the editing of data, which is very relevant to playing poker because you always want to change your data if you made a mistake. So let me show you how this program is. So basically, I'm taking this is what I took this prototype from, the Everlog editor, and I'm using the functionality of the date and the start time. So what I'm doing here, let me pull it back up, is I'm just showing the current date, current start time. This is represented as like the database. What the database has is this date and this time. So I have 4 use cases. The first one is that the program runs without breaking. That's done. Second use case is that if I change the date, it should update. So I just label as new current date, new start date. I have now instead of 1029, 1030. So this, like, if we were to extrapolate this to our final product, this would be the database updating its parameters from date, and it's changing from 29 to 30. So that's another use case done. The last user case is changing the start time. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the third one per user case. So let's say I change it to 12 something. Date changes. And then last user case, that it should be able to change both. And it does. All right, cool. So how does the code work? I think that's next. Yeah, how does the code work? So, and I'll also show the viewer mode design. Okay, so viewer is aggregated from edit view controller with main. Is it associated? This association. This is inheritance. It's inherited from application, and then viewer2 fxml is also inherited into main. It's also aggregated to main. So I'm going to show you how this matches the code here. So on main, let's start with main. It's just the main application. It gets the fxml resource sets of parameters. I put 500, 400 for like the size of the thing. Edit viewer, and then there. Edit viewer has what is it? Fields. It just updates the text and sets the viewers. And then this one is just setters and getters. I see here I've had comments detailing what each one is. See how this is like the simple representation of data store database. Something we can do to extend it is obviously add more fields. We can add like a time end field. We can add all of the functionality that's in the effort logger here just by building on the backbone of this. So I hope this was useful. Thank you for your time. And let's see, is there anything else? Yeah, anything else? Thank you.